All right, y'all. The time has arrived for Goose Creek's Peanuts Collaboration Collection Lit Review episode. This is the 3-Wick Thesis Candle channel. My name is Tracy, and I have two giant boxes over here. There's technically two collections that I'm reviewing. Not in this video, but another one later this weekend. The first one is going to be the Peanuts collection. The second one, it's like that new fall motif label they came out with. I'm just going to open the top box that I have here and see which one it is. And if it's not the Peanuts, we'll move to the second box. I got sent both of these in a 12-pack box. A little bit worried because this top box here has styrofoam falling out of the bottom, and that is never a good sign. That means the styrofoam padding in the bottom of the box has been degraded, usually from being dropped or smashed during delivery. So we'll see. Hopefully there's no casualties. Now this collection has 10 candles in it. However, y'all, bad news. One of them I'm seeing on the website is already sold out, and it's the one that has the whole gang on the front. So that one was very popular. I did mention like maybe a week ago that that one was low in numbers. One of y'all reached out and let me know that it was getting low, and it looks like it did sell out. I don't know that it will be replenished. Often with the collabs, they are not. So just keep that in mind. I'm still going to review it, but it's not on the website anymore. And this is the box with the Peanuts collab in it. So I am just going to... Actually, I think they're split across two boxes. I think I saw that in the shipping manifest. I'm just going to grab and go. There is a ton of wax residue, as well as these little styrofoam look like snowflakes all over everything. So let me just clean this jar up a little bit. Jar is so cute, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, trying to just take it in for a second so I can describe it and how it's gorgeous. The label. A couple of things to highlight that I couldn't tell online. One is that there's like this water, it's almost like watermarking or like very see-through sheen of a portrait of all the peanuts in the background. So you can kind of see that laying in the back, and then you've got the green color. And then on top of that, you have gold foil stars. On the back, you have happiness is 75 years of peanuts. And you've got Charlie Brown flying a kite with Snoopy. More of that same kind of background imagery. And then on the front for this one, because this is the Happy Howl-o-Ween, you've got Snoopy sleeping on a pumpkin, and then you've got the 75 anniversary emblem up there in the corner. And that's also of the kite. Such good detail, y'all. These labels, gorgeous. Gold lid on this one. Cute, cute minty green wax with thin, stiff, ropey wicks. I think I like this one. The spice is interesting. Okay, Happy Howl-o-Ween is spiced pumpkin, crushed clove, warm cinnamon, and rustic cedar wood. You get a surprisingly strong pumpkin note in this. Usually when I see spiced pumpkin, the first thing I think of is like a Bath & Body Works white pumpkin, where it's got the pumpkin in the name, but it's really just a spice bomb. And this, I'm actually picking up on the creaminess of the pumpkin. That's actually the first thing that hits me. And it's almost so creamy. I mean, it almost ends up feeling like a frosting, like a light frosting. It's not gourmandy, but that creaminess of the pumpkin is strong. So imagine if you opened up canned pumpkin and it's very rich and starchy. That's the vibe I'm getting first. Then I get the spice, and the spice is nice. It's a little bit barky, a little bit potpourri-ish. That clove is relatively strong in here, but it's also really well balanced with like a baker's cinnamon. So it doesn't come off as spicy cinnamon. And there's some sharpness to the clove, but I feel like it's well balanced with the creaminess of the pumpkin starch that's in here. You do get a woody element, but it's more of a natural woody to me, and it just ends up feeling more like a cinnamon bark than a cedar wood to me. Yeah, that's really nice. Not exactly what I was expecting given the scent notes, but I enjoy it. And who doesn't like Snoopy on a label? Okay, next. I don't know, y'all. Here we go again. I don't know what this means for this order, but this is, I think, the third order in a row. They gave me a candle I did not order. Also, this is just wrecked. The label is totally trashed. That probably means that I didn't get one of the candles that I ordered, which has gotten to be really, really frustrating. I mean, it was cool last time because I got like a limited edition strawberry shortcake candle, but this has got to stop. Like, what is happening at their warehouse? I mean, they're literally paying, which they did with my last two orders that this happened in. They're paying to ship out a single candle because of errors like this. They got to do some quality control in their warehouse. So now I have to go on to the portal, which I will link that in the description below in case you need it. Don't email them. That doesn't work anymore. They changed to a portal system. That's the only way you can contact them now. The portal's good. I usually hear back the next day. So now I've got to send in a request with a picture. Hey, you sent me raspberry sorbet and not whatever candle I'm missing, which makes me sad because hopefully it's not the sold out one. And they'll let me keep this one. They always do, which is good. I like this scent. It's raspberry sorbet. I've gotten through 2 of these this summer because this was also one that arrived broken for me, which is rare. But I got this one. It was broken. They sent me a replacement. So now this is my third, i.e. second, free raspberry sorbet candle from Goose Creek. But y'all, really, it's frustrating to be excited about what you ordered and then not get it. So we'll find out which one I'm missing. Okay, this is the other one, the floral kind of foliage motif. I also, oh boy, these are all so dirty. I also have the new manly ones in this shipment. So you'll see a lit review for those as well soon. This is the one I ordered 2 of. Now I'm hoping this maybe they didn't ship me both of them. Nope, they're both here. Man, I'm worried about which one I'm going to be missing. I'm not looking forward to finding out if it's the sold out one. So this one I assumed I was going to like. I could be wrong. But it has patchouli in it, so I was like, you know what? Just get 2. It's Halloween night, and it is Midnight Fog, Whipped Vanilla, Soft Patchouli, and Smoldering Amber. Oh. It is not what I was expecting. I thought I'd get a lot more patchouli, and this is mostly vanilla with fog and a hint of patchouli, but mostly vanilla. The vanilla is nice. It's creamy. It definitely feels more body care-esque, so it's more like a little bit perfumey, not so much edible, gourmandy, sweet. The fog note just feels kind of ozonic, atmospheric, and earthy. And then the patchouli is like the sweetness, the sweet aspect of patchouli. It's really nice. Honestly, I could take a patchouli balm, and I would have ramped that up big time if it were me and my decision. It's very subtle. My only concern is that it also smells very light on cold, which is not usually a good sign, but we'll see. It may come to life on warm. Beautiful blue wax on this one. The wicks look a little bit thicker than the previous one. These are more medium ropey. And then the label has that same kind of background watercolor, watermark vibe, but it's blue. And on the front you have Lucy and Snoopy out trick-or-treating. I'm guessing this is 2 of the other Peanuts gang under ghosty sheets for their costumes. Same 75-year anniversary details. And then same gold lid on this one. So I did order 2 of these. Hopefully they deliver. We shall see. This is the one that's sold out. Okay, good. So at least I have that one. That means I will have the whole collection. This is the one that's just labeled Snoopy and the Gang. So you have all of them on the front. Kind of looks like a spring or summer day. They're all happy and smiling. You got Woodstock up here on top of Snoopy's house. Same background watercolor vibes, only with this one you have gold foil clouds and a yellow wraparound. Same gold lid, bright, bright yellow wax, and these are also medium ropey. Wow, look how vibrant that is, y'all. It's like a bowl of sunshine. This is sugared lemonade, juicy orange, and daisy blooms. Yeah. Not my thing. This straight up smells like cleaner to me. So, in my humble opinion, if you are sad because this sold out, and maybe you wanted the whole, like the label, the whole gang on here, I don't think you're missing out on this scent. The way the floral is playing with the citrus in here ends up smelling like you've cleaned your house. I get like pledge vibes from the citrus, and then the floral vibes just feels like another cleaner. And it just reminds me of scrubbing my house. It's not bad. It straight up gives me cleaner vibes. The orange in here is a little bit tangy and juicy, so it's pretty well blended. The lemon is got that brightness to it like a pledge does, but then you're also getting some sweetness from it being a lemonade. And the daisies are just very lightly floral. It's like a good entry-level floral, so like if you're comfortable with citrus but maybe not florals, I think you would like this one still. Yeah. I do not like the scent on this one. It's not horrible. It's not like I absolutely wouldn't burn it, but it's definitely one that I would try for the collection and for this review. But if I smelled it in the store, I would only buy it if I were a completionist and wanted the whole collection, not because I actually like the scent. So, if you had FOMO that you missed out on a good fragrance, I don't think you did. If you have FOMO that you missed out on a good label, that you did. Okay, this one is the Great Pumpkin. Let me get it cleaned up here. So orange label. Sitting on a bunch of pumpkins in a pumpkin patch. She's wearing a witch costume, which is really cute. And you've got a beautiful kind of night sky in the background. This one also has gold foil stars with that kind of watermark of the whole gang. Beautiful pumpkin orange. Same gold lid. Bright, bright orange, and these are thin, stiff ropey wicks. This is sweet pumpkin, fresh ginger, warm nutmeg, and spiced cardamom. Yeah, this one is super creamy too from the pumpkin, but I don't get the same, it's almost like a vanilla vibe that's in the other one. This one is more of like a lactonic vibe. It feels more milky. And the cardamom is next. Really warm, very nice, a little bit spicy. I don't know that I'm picking up on the nutmeg that's in here. Yeah, it's in there. You gotta search for it though. And I only know nutmeg from freshly grinding it into like a pie mix that I was making. I buy it in the like the whole pod or seed and then grind it with my microplane. And I'm getting an element of that in there. For me, nutmeg usually gets lost on warm though, so we'll see how this does. And then the ginger is in here. It adds just a little bit of spice, like a sharper spice. It almost ends up feeling like cinnamon, but it's not cinnamon. It's the spiciness from the fresh ginger. So I feel like it just adds a very like warm, baked good spice vibe to this. It's really good. I like it. I don't know that the average person would necessarily need both of these. They're very similar on cold. I think I might like this one a little bit better, but if you're more of a gourmandy, you might like this one better. We'll see how they change on warm. That might switch around once I smell them. All right, one of the Christmas ones. This is decorating the tree. So you've got Charlie and Snoopy decorating the Christmas tree outside of Snoopy's house. Beautiful pine green. And these are like tree topper stars and snowflakes. That same kind of watercolor vibe. Same gold lid. Beautiful green wax. And these are more thin, stiff, ropey wicks. This one is Balsam Christmas Tree, Worn Cedar, Forest, Juniper, and Apple Wreath. Oh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. The balsam in here is definitely first and foremost. It gives that little bit of like balsam funk, a little bit dank, but also just a nice piney element. I feel like the apple wreath in here, like if you were to tell me this was specifically apple, I don't know that I would pick it out, but it does feel like something fruity, almost like what you'd get from like a bayberry, or was it pepperberries, the other one? that kind of vibe, that you have a pine with some dried fruit on it. It's really pleasant, very well balanced. I don't know that I get worn cedar or even what that means. I actually don't get a woody note in here at all. And I know sometimes you see cedar and it's cologne-y. This is definitely not cologne-y. It's just kind of a classic Christmas vibe. It's like a little bit of fruit, a solid balsam, definitely some pine in there. And that juniper is adding like a hint of sharpness, like a sharp pine. It's really pleasant. I hope that this performs because it's absolutely gorgeous and would be a lovely Christmas scent to burn. Plus, of course, the label is just adorable. And the last peanuts in this box, I do have my other box below that's supposed to have a couple of them in there. Get all the styrofoam off here. This one has some wax residue on the lid. Yeah, and that is wax. It's not scratched. So the lid looks a mess, but that's just wax, y'all. That's not scratching or anything. This is napping with Snoopy. So you've got Snoopy sleeping on top of his house. Looks like it's a windy day because you've got leaves blowing all over the place, landing on his belly and his nose. That's just some really cute detail. You have the foil leaves on top of that same kind of watermark vibe. Orange in color, gold lid. More styrofoam. Styrofoam everywhere, y'all. And then this one has more of like a darker orange wax. Still vibrant, but darker than the pumpkin one. And this has thin, stiff, ropey wicks. Scent notes are vanilla, cashmere, warm amber, and soft cedarwood. Yeah, I mean, it's another body care vanilla, perfumey vanilla. It actually reminds me a lot of Yankees. What was it? Spooky Treats? Or was it Spooky Sweets? Whatever. I'll put a picture of it up here. That's going to show up in my empties video, which, by the way, I'm going to be posting on Friday. My post mid-month, so like second half of September empties will be on my channel on Friday. So make sure you're subscribed if you want to see it. Massive, a ton of empties. It smells a lot like that. So you get the vanilla in here, which feels a little bit edible, and then the cashmere note ends up feeling kind of like warm and creamy and soft. I feel like I'm getting a woodiness from what they're calling soft cedarwood, but to me, this almost smells like a sandalwood. Like it's the smell I would associate with a sandalwood note, not a cedarwood. And the amber is adding a really nice perfumey. It's not super overpowering. It's not too much. It feels well balanced with the vanilla and the wood note that's in here. I'm putting wood in air quotes because I'm not sure I'd call this a wood note. Yeah, it kind of just smells like any creamy wood note, like a sandalwood. It's really pretty. Not exactly what I would think of sleeping with a dog, but that's okay. Having had a dog and knowing what they smell like, even when you bathe them regularly, it's not what I would associate. Okay, well, that's good. There's no broken ones in there, at least. So success there. Let's see what we've got in this other box and hope that we have the rest of the collection. And I have to figure out which one I'm missing because I assume I'm missing one. They don't usually just randomly toss in a freebie unless you're missing one that you actually ordered. All right, yes, I am actually missing one. It is one that I was looking forward to. I also know that it's one that's been pretty popular amongst my content creator friends that I've been chatting with about this collection. I am missing the Skating with Friends. That's the one that had the cool peppermint, sweet vanilla, and crystallized sugar. So I have the rest, but I don't have that one. So y'all, I'm going to contact them today, let them know, hey, I did not get this one. They're usually really good about shipping it out right away. Probably will get it next week, and I will just do a lighting away on that specific scent. So I apologize that this happened once again with another collection that I'm reviewing, but that seems to be the way of Goose Creek these last few weeks. Toss in a candle they didn't order, and then hope they don't notice. Hope they don't complain. Like, what are they thinking? Like, I literally don't know what you're thinking about why you would just toss in a random candle. At least it's one that I like, so that's good. I get to keep it. Anyhow. Got 3 more left then, because I already did 6. That other one is missing. Christmas with Friends is next. This is another one that has most of the gang on it, not all of them, but if you really want a label that has a lot of them on there, there is another one that does have the whole gang, but it's fall themed. But this has quite a few of them on the front. And then you've got the more of an orange color for the wraparound, and these are snowflakes. Yeah, snowflakes floating in the air. The gold foil. Same lid. These are thin curly wicks and very vibrant orange wax. This one is fresh fir needles, bright orange zest, and warm clove. Wow. That is delicious. It is very orangey. I don't know that I would say bright orange zest. This just feels super juicy. Really juicy, and it almost feels candied to me. Maybe it's the way that the clove is playing. It ends up feeling a little bit barky, adds what feels like a little bit of like a baked element to it. Yeah, the orange feels a lot like the orange that was in the, was it the orange sherbet candle that was out this summer? It doesn't feel like a natural orange to me. It feels sugary. I don't mind it, but it's a little bit weird because normally when you have that like clove stuck in an orange vibe for a holiday candle, it's a fresh orange, a real orange, and this feels more like a sugared orange to me. I really like it though. It's good. Yeah, and the pine is really, really nice. This reminds me a little bit of Winter from Bath & Body Works. So I think if you like Winter, you would like this one. The pine is not too heavy at all. It's mostly orange with clove. Really nice. Yeah, that might be my favorite of the bunch. Y'all, I haven't been ranking these. What am I thinking? I need to rank them. Apple picking is next. Again, you've got most of the gang on the front. They're all out picking apples. This one also has an orange wraparound with gold leaves flying in the air. Same gold lid. This one is very dusty. Let's get that cleaned off. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. And then orange wax with thin, stiff, ropey wicks. And I've got some discoloration in my wax here. Hopefully that doesn't have burn issues. You'll notice there's really dark orange here and it's kind of speckled. I'm hoping that's not a production issue where like the oils didn't mesh well with the wax and they have now separated. We'll see. Oh, that's an apple candle, no doubt. Juicy apple, sparkling pear, and crisp green leaves. Yeah, this is definitely apple dominant. I do get the pear. It's nice. It helps to bring down some of the tartness that's in the apple. Yeah, they play nice together. It's actually more well-balanced than first sniff. First sniff, all I got was apple. But the more I smell it, the more I'm getting the pear. I'm not sure why it's called sparkling. I'm not getting like an effervescent vibe from this at all. It does feel more like a broken down pear, not like a fresh cut pear. It feels a little bit juicy, a little syrupy. I don't know what crisp green leaves are. This does feel overall fresh, but my brain is just reading it as the tartness of the apple, not as like a green note. So if you're put off by that green note, you don't need to be. It's pleasant. Yeah, I don't know about that discoloration, y'all. We could be in for some trouble with that. I don't know what that is. I don't normally see that with my candles from Goose Creek. And then the last one, this is the one that has the whole gang on the front as well. So if you missed out on the lemon pledge cleaner candle, this is a good substitute. This one is Crisp Fall Days and has kind of a yellowish color wraparound, almost like a mustard color. You have the foil leaves again. Same gold lid that's also dusty. And this one has, it's a kind of a creamy yellow, thin, stiff, ropey wicks. Scent notes are rustling leaves, spiced apple cider, and cozy harvest spice. Huh, this one, oh, it's apple cider. I don't know how I feel about it. If you like apple, you'd be fine. For me, it's the cider note that's in here, and it's a spiced cider note. It definitely reads like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, You go to restaurants sometimes and they have like a pre-mixed cider or like a pre-mixed sangria. It's not like fresh made, and then it just has this like artificial element to it. I'm getting that vibe of like a pre-made concentrate apple cider that you just put some water in and stirred it up, as opposed to actually crushing the apples and making legit cider, which takes forever. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just some artificiality to it, and I'm not crazy about apple. I do get spice in here, but to me, that's just reading like it's coming in with the cider note. I don't see that as a separate scent at all. And there is some earthiness to it, which is actually really pleasant. The rustling leaves, it's a more of a, like, not quite dry. It doesn't have like the death and decay vibe to it, but it's definitely not a freshly fallen leaf. It feels like one that's kind of just starting to dry out. So you get a fresh element with it, but you also get like a dead dry element with it too. I like the earthiness of it. I just don't know if I like that cider note that's in the background. All right, let me rank these for us. All right, I have these in order from my least favorite, number 9, to my most favorite, number 1. Wish I had that 10th one so I could give you a full ranking, but here we are. I do not have it. I'm going to put as Snoopy and the Gang on cold. I just don't like how much this smells like cleaner. It's not bad. It's just not... You know, if I want my house to smell like that, I'll just clean. You know, that's how I feel. Then I would do Crisp Fall Days. Yeah, I'm just not crazy about the cider note that's in there. Again, if you like apple cider, you probably would really enjoy that. For me, it just feels a bit artificial, and I don't like the way the spice is playing with the apple in it. Apple picking is going to be next. Again, that is my apple bias. I do, however, like the way the pear is playing with the apple in here. I just wish I got more of the crisp green leaves that's supposed to be in there. And this is really where I'm starting at the, I'm happy I have them, and I would probably still pick it up in the store. And this one is included in that, the apple picking. I don't dislike it so much where I wouldn't buy it, whereas the other two I probably wouldn't pick up. Next is going to be Napping with Snoopy. This one I like. I just feel like, how many vanilla body care fragrances does one need? You don't need this many. It's a good one, at least on cold, but been there, done that. There's nothing unique about it at all. The Great Pumpkin is next. This is very similar to the one that I have in third place. The difference is this one has that cardamom in it. Makes it more of like a bakery warm pumpkin scent. Yeah, and it's almost like milky. It's so creamy. I would do the Decorating the Tree next. I love the balsam note that's in here. I like there's just a hint of that funk from the balsam. I love the apple wreath vibe that's in there. 3 is the other pumpkin one, Happy Howl-o-Ween. This one I like more because of just how creamy that pumpkin is. It almost comes across as like a vanilla vibe to me. It's not super gourmandy, but it's just so smooth and helps to balance out the clove that's in there. For now, even though I thought it was going to be my favorite and I bought 2, I'm going to do Halloween Night as number 2. I like this. This is a unique scent on cold. My hesitation is I'm afraid it's going to be light. It scares me a bit, so I'm going to keep that at number 2. And I'm actually really impressed with Christmas with Friends. I love the orange note that's in there. And I love the way that it's playing with the clove. But again, it's a candied orange. It almost smells like the orange that was in the chocolate-covered orange from Bath & Body Works too. It's like that kind of like candied sweet vibe. It works. Normally I wouldn't think I would like that with pine and clove, but it's delicious. So I'm going to rank this as number 1, even though I thought for sure that the Halloween Night was going to be my number 1 favorite. So I'm going to go out and burn these, test them out, take some notes on strength and throw, how these evolve on warm. I'll get some burn footage for you, and I'll be right back after the cut to possibly re-rank my least favorite to my most favorite and let you know how these performed. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Lots of time spent with these. I'm going to share with you, per usual, my least favorite to my most favorite. I will say that every single one of these is well thought out. It feels like, for the most part, there's something for everyone, with just a slight bit of redundancy with the pumpkin spice candles mostly. I think there's something for every season. We've got multiple holidays in this collection. Relatively good performance. So overall, stellar collection. I'm going to appreciate these while I have them. Now, if you're new here, my testing space, it's always the same space. It's a single car garage that has been converted, no window, door sealed off. That means you don't get a lot of air circulation in there. There's no air conditioner, no furnace. I don't even run a fan. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about things like strength and throw. It could be different in your space. All those things are going to make a big difference. Okay, number 9, which should not come as too big of a surprise if you were watching my cold impression. That is the Snoopy and Gang candle. This is interesting on warm. I will say that the lemonade and the juicy orange for me almost completely disappeared. I will add a little caveat that I am sometimes nose blind to citrus. However, I could smell it on cold, so I would think you'd be able to smell it on warm. But what ended up happening is the citrus note just kind of transformed into like a sweet kind of ambiguous fruity vibe, and really the floral dominated. Although I will say for a floral, this reads pretty light. So I would argue that if you're looking for an entry-level floral that's not too overwhelming, it's not super sharp, it's not super strong, this would be a good go-to. In terms of strength, solid medium. It also had good throw. It filled the space. So relatively good performer, just not necessarily my vibe. I'm not a huge spring-summer fan. I'm not a huge floral fan at all. In fact, of spring and summer, like my least favorite is sunscreen and then probably florals. So this is my bias coming into play. The daisy in here ends up smelling a bit polleny, which is normal for a daisy scent, but I would choose this one as number 9. So if, like I said, if you missed out, you know, I think have FOMO over the label, but the scent isn't really anything that unique or groundbreaking, and I also don't think it's the best in the bunch. Number 8, also my bias coming into play, although I would absolutely still buy this, I do like it, is apple picking. It's just, somebody's got to be number 8, you know, and this is the one. Now, apple picking, in terms of strength and throw, comparable to the last one. It's medium, solid medium strength. However, with the throw on this one, a little bit elusive. So the further away from this one you were, the stronger it was. And I would say this could project pretty well. It made it to my stairwell over here. Didn't creep up and out the door and around the corner, but it definitely filled the space. Stronger further away. And if you're sitting right up next to it, it was much more difficult to get a sense of its presence. On warm, this is beautiful and well blended. I feel like it's very well balanced between the pear and the apple. You get a sense of them both at the same time. Neither one dominates the other. I will say that the apple note that's in here is very, very bright, to the point of it almost reading perfumey to my nose, and that's common for me with apple scents. It's one of the reasons I don't like a lot of apple fragrance, is because it's so tart and bright that it reads like perfume to me. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the apple that's in like Candy Apple Cauldron, that level of sharpness that ends up reading just super perfumey. That could, however, also be the crisp green leaves in here. I don't know what that's supposed to smell like. I didn't get it on cold, and I certainly don't get anything like green or leafy on warm unless that's that perfumey vibe. There was some discoloration during the cold impression. You'll also notice here in my burn footage that it is still in the wax pool when lit. However, when it re-solidified, I'm not seeing any evidence of that any longer. So I don't know if that has fixed itself or if it is now sunk to the bottom of the wax pool that was liquefied. Didn't seem to affect strength and throw from what I can tell. So apple picking is number 8. Number 7 is going to be the Great Pumpkin. And just as a friendly reminder, I do really like this one. I like the rest of them quite a bit. Also, medium strength, solid medium strength performer with good throw, no elusiveness. It's pretty much even throughout the space. This one felt like it warmed up quite a bit more in terms of the spice notes, warmed up more when it was lit. I kind of feel like this ends up smelling a lot like the inside of a pumpkin pie, so like the filling, but with less sugar. So like if you were trying to make a healthier version of a pumpkin pie and cut the sugar in half, you're going to get this. You get the starchiness from the pumpkin, you get the really warm spices, especially the cardamom that's in here, and the nutmeg does actually come through on warm, and it feels a little bit spicy, but that's from the ginger note that's in here. And I really like how those 3 spices play together to create warm and spicy without the addition of cinnamon. And then you get the pumpkin vibe. So it does really feel kind of like pumpkin filling. It's creamy. It feels like It's a sort of like mousse or custard that you're getting ready to put in the oven and bake into a pie crust. So I enjoy it. I think it's good. It's not super gourmandy. I think it could stand to be a little bit sweeter or add like a marshmallow vibe to it. But it will go well with the pumpkin gourmand theme I have going this month. Number 6 is Crisp Fall Days. Now this is another one that has quite a bit of apple in it. Actually, the apple in this is really strong. This, when I was burning it, it reminded me of the Yankee Candle, it's Autumn Wreath. It has that same energy, and I did look up, they do share quite a few scent notes. Both of those have spice, and both of them have leaves, and both of them have apple. I'm pretty sure this is a very close second to Autumn Leaves. I don't think it's exactly the same, but that's where my brain went when I was smelling this on warm. Also, I have in my notes, Beast! Exclamation point for strength. So this is really strong to the point of almost overwhelming me when I opened the garage door here to go downstairs. And it was cracked, right? So it was able to ventilate out into this space a little bit, although it did not throw out the door like some candles do. It's not a creeper. But it did fill the space, and it was very, very strong. So if you are looking for a super strong apple spice leaves note, this is going to be one for you to pick up. Anything else? The leaves note in it feel a little bit earthy. The apple is very juicy and tart, and overall it feels well balanced between the apple and the leaves. And I will note that I also have that this was a hot burn. So the flames got pretty hot pretty quick and pretty high. Maybe that's why it beasted out. Number 5. Happy Howl-o-Ween. This one, still trying to figure it out a little bit. So I enjoy it. I feel like this would have been better packaged as a holiday Christmas label, because there's something about the way the spice notes in here are playing with the cedar wood. So you get this like raw wood barky note from the cedar wood. I also feel like I'm getting just like a hint of what feels like a pine vibe from this. Very subtle, and it might just be my head making it up. And then you have those really warm spices, the crushed clove and the warm cinnamon with also a spiced pumpkin on top of that. And this ends up feeling like in the same vein as like cinnamon pine cones from Bath & Body Works, or like holiday embers without the smokiness from Goose Creek. It feels like a very late fall, early winter transitional scent. So like I would personally rather burn this end of November, early December, despite the Halloween label. It's gorgeous. I really like it, but it doesn't feel like Halloween to me. I think that's my only complaint about this one. I will also mention this one was a super slow burn. It took a very long time to get to full wax pool. I think it was almost 2.5 hours, y'all, to get to full wax pool. And even then the flames are pretty low. That's not always indicative of the way this candle will go for the rest of its life. And that's true of all of my insights. This is just a first burn impression. Sometimes candles don't bloom until the third burn. Sometimes they really evolve at the halfway point. So keep that in mind as well, especially if you're new to candle burning. This is really just first burn impression. Take it for what it is. It's more just to give you insight into how the scent evolves on warm. So just something to keep in mind. This is a slow burner. Could change, could not change. In terms of strength, I have this as a light leaning towards medium. For the scent notes that are in here, I was expecting something a little bit stronger. I want more of it. Again, it could bloom with later burns, and it had good throw. It did fill the space. Also, I'll note that the spices in here remind me a little bit of pumpkin carving from Bath & Body Works. It's not a one-for-one, but that same energy. So in that way, I guess it does have a little bit of a Halloween vibe to it. Number 4 is Napping with Snoopy. And this one is the Vanilla Body Care vibe candle. The vanilla in here is really sweet, but you also get, there's like a woody note, yeah, from the cedar wood. You're getting that natural barky, and it does give me almost like hamster cage shavings vibe from the cedar wood. I don't mind it. I actually really like it. And the way that it's playing with the vanilla reminds me a little bit of the kind of vanilla woody note that's in Moonlit Slow Dance. It also feels like the cashmere in here could stand to be a little bit warmer. I really just get wood and vanilla. It's nice. I like it, but I kind of want things to be more well-rounded with that cashmere in here. And the amber does not read too perfumey, just a hint of perfuminess that makes this feel like a body care vanilla. So I did really enjoy this one. In terms of strength and throw, this is a light leaning towards medium. It's hard to throw a vanilla scent. That's one of the reasons I like Warm and Welcome, for example, so much, is because that one really throws and has good strength. This one pretty light. This is the one I had to burn twice. The first time I fired it up, basically unscented. I couldn't smell it at all, although I could smell it further away. Second time, it finally filled out the space, did a much better job of throwing, and remained stronger further away, but at least I could smell it close as well. So not a powerhouse yet, probably won't become one. Do like it, and I like it enough to still have it as number 4, despite the fact that I feel like it's a little on the light side. 3, I'm going to do Decorating the Tree, and please forgive my spilt wax. I guess I had a waxident. I don't remember doing it, but there's wax on the side of the jar. It looks like it's fine on the inside. I don't know, something happened, y'all. This one, beautiful, gorgeous, love it, stunner. Strength, medium leaning towards strong, so it's good. I don't think it's as strong as some other balsam scents that are out there, but it was medium to strong. It had good throw, it filled the space effectively. I will say this one was also a slow burner, although not as slow as the other one that I mentioned was a slow burner. The balsam in this has just a hint of funk dankness to it, but not as much as, say, the new one I just reviewed. It's not new to y'all, but it's new to me. Is it Pine Tree Forest or something like that? That one is real funky. This one's just a little bit of that funk. And then I love the apple wreath note in here. It adds just like this hint of tart, sweet, juicy fruit. I don't know that I would be able to specifically identify it as apple, but it just adds a really nice complexity to the pine notes that are in here. I don't pick up on much of the cedar. It just reads like woody pine tree to me. Perfect blend of sharp from the pine and sweet from the fruit. Love it. Recommend it. Would rebuy it. Beautiful pine fruit scent for Christmas. 1 and 2 switched. So 1 on Cold Impression is now 2 and vice versa. I did bump this one down. This is the Christmas with Friends. Not because there's anything wrong with it. This is a phenomenal candle. But I think the reason I had it ranked number 1 is because I actually liked that it smelled like a candied orange. However, on warm, it really just ends up smelling like your classic fresh fruit orange with clove in it. So I feel like it lost some of its uniqueness when it got heated up. It does, by the way, smell almost exactly like winter on warm. I don't know if they were attempting to dupe winter, but if they weren't, they succeeded. This smells a lot like it to me. I do feel like this one's a little bit stronger than I remember Bath & Body Works winter being, and hopefully this one won't suffer from some of the same burn issues that winter did. I'm also wondering if that's why this one has a thin curly wick, because I know orange oils can be really dense and can cause problems with wicks, and that might be why winter from Bath & Body Works duds out. So hopefully they have the wicks figured out with this one and we won't have that issue going forward with this particular version. So if you like winter from Bath & Body Works, you will like Christmas with Friends. Also, this is, one of the holiday candles, also has quite a bit of the gang on there, although not everyone. So it could be a good replacement for number 9 if you didn't get your hands on that one. The clove in here is pretty subtle. This is orange dominant. It loses that sugarness, like I said. The pine in here adds just a hint of like sappy sweetness. Overall, it's well balanced between being bright, juicy, and a little bit like sweet from the orange and a little bit spicy from the clove. I would put this at a strength level of strong, leaning towards medium. It didn't overwhelm me. It wasn't like beast mode, but it was definitely strong and present in the room. I think this one was the strongest on cold, not the strongest on warm, and it had excellent throw. It filled the space. Not a creeper, it didn't come around the corner up here, but it did its job, and it was equal throughout the space. So this one, stellar. Recommend it, especially if you like holiday citrus scents. That means that number 2 bumped to number 1, and that is despite the fact that this one does not have a lot of strength. It's not super strong. This one's Halloween Night. The very first thing I have in my notes is love! Exclamation point. So I really, really like this one on warm. The patchouli in here reminds me a lot of the patchouli that's in Witch's Brew, that's in Witch's Cauldron. Witch's Brew is from Yankee. Witch's Cauldron is from Goose Creek, although now sold out. The Palo in here just adds this really nice woodiness, and I do feel like I'm picking up on a hint of like smokiness with that Palo Santo. This feels like a perfect Halloween night, earthy, woody, warm, just perfect patchouli, witchy scent to burn during the Halloween season. Glad I have two, because this is going to get burned. Now, in terms of strength, I want more. It's medium leaning towards light. Again, this may come to life after the second or third burn, but for now, I'm categorizing it as a little bit on the light side. I would love for it to be a solid medium, even better, medium leaning towards strong. It did have decent throw. It did feel stronger further away, so a little bit elusive, not as strong nearby, but you did get a sense of it in the room. All right, y'all. This lit review episode is a wrap. I'll let you know that I reached out to Goose Creek yesterday at around 11:15 a.m., sent them a picture of the raspberry sorbet, said, hey, you left off my skating with friends. Can I please get a replacement by, I think, 12:05? I got a UPS confirmation that my package had already shipped. So y'all, within an hour, using the portal, they already replaced my candle, and it is, I think it technically left today. They created the label yesterday, but it's ready to go. It's coming here. So I will have that 10th candle in the collection as a Lighting the Way episode eventually. We'll see when it arrives and how quickly I can get that done. So just keep that in mind. Sorry I couldn't do all 10, but it's the way of Goose Creek these days. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of these candles. If you've already got them and would like to add any insights, I always really appreciate that, even if what you have to say contradicts my interpretation. I like that my other viewers can see more insights and opinions about it, and I also like that I can learn from you as well. So put those in the comments below. If you appreciated this review, give me a thumbs up. If you feel like I saved you some money with this review and you want to support my channel, super thanks are always appreciated but never required. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. It is my Weekends Deal episode, although not a lot of new, at least not yet. Goose Creek hasn't released anything this week, y'all. I'm wondering if something broke over there. But make sure you're subscribed if you want to see that when it's released tomorrow. Turn on notifications if you want to know right away. I will see you then. And until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.